What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And I've had a lot of people asking me about where the Diesel Truck Liberation Act is at. What's going on with it? How come everything from emissions has stalled? Well, actually, everything in Congress has stalled. All of it. We're going to talk about all that and more right after this. Guys, before I get into today's video, we got to talk about the giveaway going on the channel right now. We have extra entries up on the 1969 Dodge Charger with the Hellcat swap. It has been easily to date, probably one of the more popular vehicles that we've done. And the extra entries on it was almost completely sold out. In fact, there are 3 remaining at the different tiers that are there. And once those sell out, if you're already on the site, you've already seen different ones are already sold out. Once those are sold out, everything on the site will go to sold out in terms of extra entries, and the extra entries will disappear. We also have the 1970 Charger closing out. Not much longer on that till the end of the month. I mean, it's already what, the 22nd? So what, a week, 8 days? That thing will be done. So if you want to get in on a really dope vehicle at the best chance in terms of the most multiplied entries or the most entries for the best chance to win, now's the time to do it. TK'sgarage.bigcartel.com. So the Diesel Truck Liberation Act, where are we at on it? Well, as I was saying previously, they were going to tie this in with Department of Homeland Security funding, and that they were going to also do a couple other things, and they were going to do it through budget reconciliation. Well, the Republicans in the Senate, they had the votes in the House, but the Republicans in the Senate, thanks to this jackass from my home state, from where I consider home, North Carolina, Tom Tillis is just a jackass. I just need him to retire and just go away. I mean, he's basically a Democrat at this point for what he's doing, okay? They literally had the votes to pass multiple pieces of legislation that the president wanted to push through. We're not talking about politics here. I could give a shit about what you believe or what you think I believe. It doesn't matter. We're talking about this strictly from an automotive perspective, okay? And to get through budget reconciliation, they need exactly 50 votes. And it's not just Tillis, but they also have issues with Mitch McConnell, right? So if you can lose one but not the other, and then the vice president would have to vote for you to secure the win, right? Or you'd have to get a Democrat or two to come over to your side. A John Fetterman could be possible. But you'd have to give up something that Fetterman would want, okay? So the Republicans are like, let's wait and see if we can get some other stuff done, right? Or let's see if we can get Tillis to just chill out so that we can go ahead and get this done. But then they started getting into other stuff. They had the redistricting fight in terms of Congress in Virginia, which the Republicans lost, by the way. The Democrats won that vote and are going to gain seats in the House because of it. It's very similar to what they did in California and what they did in Texas in terms of redistricting. So it ends up, the whole redistricting fight is stupid because in the red states, they're going to redistrict to get more Republicans. In the blue states, they're going to redistrict to get more Democrats. And it ends up being a wash anyway. Just a bunch of, fuck it, let's waste everybody's time. Let's not get the people's work done. And here we are. And that's basically where we're at with all of it. There's so much legislation and so much shit that needs to be done, but we can't get any of it done because everybody's in a big dick measuring contest in Congress right now. And it's stupid. And it's funny because even the Democrats are eating their own. They're forcing some of their own members out of Congress. Granted, she stole $5 million, and I'm talking about the one from Florida. I get it. The Republicans forced out one of their own from Texas. Like, the House is such a mess right now. Like, it was already such a razor thin margin. You think it'd be like, everybody just leave everybody alone until November so we find out who actually owns the House. But the way it looks right now, because of what happened in Virginia, you're going to have Speaker Hakeem Jeffries here shortly. Yeah. Which means anything that you want to get through now in terms of budget reconciliation or bills, you got to do it now. So here's what I find interesting. The Republicans are still twiddling their thumbs. And I'm wondering at this point if John Thune is doing this on purpose. I'm wondering if the Senate Majority Leader is doing this on purpose not to get anything done, not to pass through any of the president's agenda. And I'm talking about the Diesel Truck Liberation Act. I'm talking about the SAFE Act, with whether you agree with it or not, I don't care. I've heard all the different arguments about, oh, if you have an ID, it's for disadvantaged people. You know, okay, cool. Are disadvantaged people allowed to drive a car? Like, I look at everything from common sense. I don't look at it from black and white. You know, I come from a mixed family, so miss me with the fucking bullshit. So I look at everything just square up. Do I need a driver's license to go to a courthouse or an ID to go to court? Yep. Do I need an ID to fly on a plane? Yep. Sure do. Do I need an ID? Do I have to get a driver's license to drive a car? Yep. Why the fuck don't I need an ID to vote? It's common sense. You don't have to agree with it. And to be honest with you, I don't give a fuck. And it's the same thing when it comes to these emissions policies. You got to have common sense, man. But unfortunately, we just don't have any. We don't have any fucking common sense. And now, because of the big dick measuring contest that's going on, which, by the way, they're probably all small anyway, pause. But the dick measuring contest that we got going on in Congress right now, in the Senate and in the House, nothing's getting done. So I know what people are going to say, like, oh, well, the Republicans aren't getting shit done. Fuck it. We're going to vote for the Democrats and see if they can get something done. Well, cool. You get a Democrat House in. Anything you want to get done in terms of emissions and smog checks and all that other shit goes right out the window. You can kiss that goodbye. Over. Done. Immediately done. Done. Nothing changes. Your gas prices go up. They're going to go up further than they are right now. Nothing changes. Nothing will get done. And the rest of the president's presidency, nothing will happen. Unless it's by executive order. You will get nothing done. Zero. Nothing. Not a fucking thing. Nothing. So the president and the Republicans right now have about maybe a month, maybe 2 months to get their shit together, get into budget reconciliation, get all the shit that they want to get done, and get it through the fucking Senate. And, you know, them as Republicans in terms of, because here's the other thing, right? The guys like Tom Tillis, Mitch McConnell's a fucking walking skeleton, but guys like Tom Tillis, when they leave, you know what they're doing? They're going into the private sector. They're going to go get the bag. They're going to lobby. They're going to do shit like that, right? That the people with the money need to lean on Tom Tillis and say, hey, motherfucker, you need to play ball. You need to get this shit done and put your differences aside with whatever you have with the president to get this shit done until you get out of office, or you ain't getting none of this money when you leave. And one thing I can tell you about politicians in the Senate and the House, when they leave, they all go get the bag. They get the bag while they're in office too, by the way. But they get the big bag when they get out of office. So please, miss me with the bullshit. So that's your timeline. If we don't see a budget reconciliation bill, we're already in the longest shutdown in the country's history, and the limited shutdown in terms of what's going on with the Department of Homeland Security, which I want to say this too, for the Democrats and the other idiots like Tom Tillis and shit that are blocking getting any kind of bill passed in the Congress. If Oklahoma City happens again, right? Something like that, or World Trade Center, or any severe act of terrorism happens, every single member of Congress that has voted against funding the Department of Homeland Security has blood on their hands. It will be your fucking fault. clip this, save it. It will be their fault. Because if they're not funded, and it's not, I know what they're going to say, oh, they're just not funding ICE. No, they're not funding the entire fucking department. The department that shares information. And hey, geniuses, somebody that's worked in intelligence, I actually know how that works. So when they're not sharing information because they don't have the people, or people are on furlough, or people are calling in, people aren't going to work because they're not getting fucking paid. And I'm not talking about TSA. I'm talking about regular Homeland Security agents. People that look at the data, people that share data between agencies. It's a problem. And I know this has nothing to do with the diesel truck delivery, but what I'm trying to explain to you is it's a big fucking problem right now in DC. Whatever state you're in, you should definitely call your congressman and your senator, especially your senator, and let them know. Should something befall the United States and there's an attack somewhere, and it happens because there's a lapse in funding from Homeland Security, it is their fault. Guarantee enough of you call and say that, you know what happens? Magically, they'll get a vote done because they don't want to be on the record for that shit. You can guarantee it. So, like I said, our timeline right now, 60 days. We got 60 days for the president and his people to get their shit together and get a budget reconciliation package pushed through before it's going to be coming midterms time, campaign time, and nothing will get done. That's it. Clock's ticking. There's your update. Nothing's happening in Congress because we have a bunch of fucking retards there. Cool? Glad we were able to cover that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.